I literally just press record.
You press record?
Yes, that's on it.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. Now that Dale's here, we can just
I'll let you know.
I've got a lot of questions.
Julie stepped out of the room. I want to make sure Julie is ready. We're good? Okay, very good. All right, welcome everyone. Good afternoon. Excited to get started back with our town hall meetings. We used to hold these in the past, and we didn't have a whole lot of participation, but we wanted to give this a try again and update you on some things that are going on and answer any questions or concerns you had. But I wanted to start off with some updates, starting with Oak Ridge. We are wrapping up phase 2, which is the third apartment building, the flat, and then 5 more cottage homes. We're about to finish those up and move people in. And so we're going to turn our attention to phase 3, which is our assisted living and memory care building. So I've got a little fly-through here video to show you. It gives you a little rendering of what you're looking at. So this is from inside the gates. So this is inside Oak Ridge, looking east. That's the memory care. This is the assisted living. And you can see it is a 4-story building, 42 homes of assisted living. Coming around to the back of house areas. Then this is the south side that faces Sawgrass Village. So you can see the architecture fits in with the rest of Oak Ridge. Some nice outdoor areas for our folks. And now we're coming around to the eastern side of the building. So as it comes around to this next side, A1A will be to our backs. And so we're standing along A1A looking west toward the building. You can see there's going to be parking lots, and Dale, this is 60 spots? 60 parking spots, so we'll be able to have some staff there, but we'll also have parking for folks who might use some spaces that we're leasing out on the second floor of the memory care. You can see there's a covered walkway that will join the 2 buildings. Then this is the memory care on the first floor, 18 homes there. The second floor, we're going to have an employee break room. We're going to have an HR office, therapy will be up there, and a wellness clinic will be there. And then we'll have some space to lease out. We are pretty sure that one of those spaces will be for a physician. And so we'll have a physician clinic, so people who visit the physician can park out here because this is outside the gates. But then they would just go up an elevator at that end of the building and meet with their physician. This end is therapy, HR. So there's a lot of nice space up there. We'll have some nice light views. And this is coming around as if your back was to the gate right now. So that just gives you an idea of what the memory care and assisted living will look like. We will start financing that late this year and begin some of the work late this year. And it'll take a little while to construct. We'll probably open the early part of 2026. So that is what will wrap up Oak Ridge. Thank you, Julie. There we go. So moving on then to this campus, once we finish phase 3, we're going to be turning our attention here to the Sawgrass campus. We have created a master plan. We worked with our architect over the last half of last year. We worked with our architect to come up with a plan for looking at the future of the Sawgrass campus. What needs to change to make sure we're meeting the needs and the desires of people that are going to be moving in? And how do we need to evolve to make sure that we are meeting your needs as staff, taking care of those folks. So these are just some snapshots that I'll go through to give you an idea of the thinking. But in a master plan, it is a very, very high-level thinking. So it is likely that what you see here will not be how it turns out. Now the video I just showed you will be how the assisted living and memory care will turn out. The master plan will be different, but this just gives you an idea of some of the thinking that we've had. So this is the aerial of our campus. This is the main entrance. This is where you walk in. Tomasino's right there. Right now we're all right here. Health Center is currently back here, but you'll see it looks different. So this is one of the biggest changes that will come in the master plan. The current Health Center goes out there, and then over here and here. We're going to tear that down and rebuild a 3 or 4 story. All of a sudden I forgot. 3-story building that will house assisted living, skilled nursing, and memory care. This will be a secure memory care garden in the middle. Then we're going to add on, in this plan, we would add on to the back of the kitchen area, and right here where this driveway loop is, we'll have a new therapy gym that'll be much larger and much more modern, and be able to better care for our folks there. And then that opens up this space here. So as you come in, you can see through the Blue Heron Cafe. You know, the mailboxes are right here. You go over the lake, you can see through the green space back into the back lane. So it just makes a real nice visual impact as you come in. And the plan is this porte cochere will go away, but we would add one here, and what is now the parlor would become our main lobby, our main entrance. So the idea is that people would drive in, you immediately see up this driveway to the porte cochere, walk right in, and then you have this beautiful view. And then we would make some big changes here to our health center. This is just a rendering of what the entrance to the health center might look like. The therapy is there to the right, the health center, the 3-story building toward the back there. Another view, another rendering of it. This is a view from if you were hovering over the Stratford, looking into the memory care garden. So you'll see it's a U-shaped building. And this is hard to see, so I'm going to walk you through this, but this is some of the changes we're contemplating for these common space buildings, the common area buildings. So I'm going to start with this red, because that's where we are right now. So this is the auditorium. The auditorium wouldn't change, but we had a thought that with all the folks we have coming into Oak Bridge, we need a little more capacity in here. So what if we were to create a balcony along the back? So back up along the back here, you know, when you get toward the top, that is the hallway upstairs. So we could punch a hole through there and then create a balcony to add some more seating. It's a concept we'll have to prove out. But right now, this is the 2nd floor. Right now, the administrative offices are here, the classroom is here, boardroom is here. You can see this is all going to change. So administration will actually be moved out of this building, and this would be a wellness space. So wellness, spa, we've got some more fitness here. We really want to be focusing on wellness and you know, how and holistic wellness, not just fitness, but holistic wellness. So we have spa services. We'll have some quiet spaces. There's a quiet room. Downstairs, we still have the fitness spaces down there, but this could be more of a larger group fitness area. Still have some card space. This is the current lobby. So this is where you would usually come into the building. What we're contemplating is making that into a new chapel, because it gives it a bigger space. Right now, we're overflowing in the chapel with our regular services. And so that gives us an opportunity to have more space. We would move the stained glass that's right there right now over here. And then there's a nice kind of a meeting area or you know, pre-service area over here. And you know, I don't want you to get tied to anything you see here again, because this is all conceptual. But what I want you to notice is that the idea is that there's much more flow and much more openness to the plan going forward. Right now, we have a lot of rooms that have a single purpose. And the idea is to break down some of those walls and help everything flow into each other. So this could be library space flowing into a much larger Blue Heron Cafe, a reimagined Blue Heron Cafe. Again, this would be the lobby coming in. Move some of our art functions and gallery space. The wood shop would remain where it is. And then in the dining room, we would do the same thing. So the main entrance is here, and right now we've closed it off, and we have a little lounge here and a big dining room here. And we would take down those walls and have it blend together. So the lounge would still be in the same spot, but it would kind of encroach into the dining room and blend in to the main dining room space. And right here is currently the Estes and Panavita room. And so these would be more open as a single space. We could close them off, but it becomes part of the dining room, or it can be closed off for a private dining function. And everything in orange is the back of the house, the kitchen area that would remain. So this is just some concepts that we've worked through at this point. And one other concept is that if we have our assisted living needs met in the new healthcare building, what would we do with the Stratford? And so the idea is that the Stratford could become an HR building, basically. This is a rendering of the ground floor, and so we would keep the kitchen, and so the dining room would become an employee dining space. We have our HR functions, training rooms, computer rooms, so on. Second and third floors would have offices, so everyone would be in one space. So we would have more opportunity to interact interdepartmentally in this building, and any of your HR needs would be met there as well. This wing of the assisted living, which currently the health center is over here, just to give you an idea of where that is. This is the main entrance to the assisted living. So this has 3 apartments on each floor, and what we might do there is just keep those as apartments. If we need some guest housing, if we need some temporary housing for staff that are moving in, if we have some foreign workers who are coming in and trying to get settled, we can use those spaces for that. So a lot of opportunity there. And again, this is just a concept at this point. This may not be how it turns out. Just wanted to let you know some of the thinking that we were doing as we're going forward with the master plan. So any questions or anything? I'll stop there for a moment. Any questions on the master plan or phase 3 of Oak Ridge? Seeing none, we will go on. So something that I wanted to talk to you a little bit about is, we've got a great employee culture here. We have an amazing staff. You all do fantastic work day in and day out, and that's what I hear every time I meet with residents. They talk about how great the staff is and how helpful this person is and that person is. And what really makes the difference is knowing your why in your work. And I think a lot of you have found your why, but I've found a video here that I think really explains this well. So I want to show that video and then we can talk a bit about it.
How do I know? A lot of people, when they think of the phrase, how do I know, they always want to put the what behind it. How do I know what I'm supposed to do? The question that you really should ask is, how do I know why I'm here? Because when you know your why, your what becomes more clear and more impactful. If you know, like for instance, people know that I do comedy, but that's what I do. My why is to inspire people to walk in purpose. So I can do comedy, I can write books, I can be in a movie, because all of it is motivated by my why. In fact, I have a new web series out called Michael Jr. Break Time. We probably just did the 6th episode. It's on YouTube. And so every single Wednesday at 3 o'clock, we drop a new episode on YouTube of Michael Jr. Break Time. What it is it's me. I travel around the country and I do stand-up comedy, in case you didn't know. And in the middle of my comedy set sometime, I'll stop and just talk to my audience. And we've been filming this, and it's pretty cool. So we're in Winston-Salem. I'm going to show you a clip from Winston-Salem. And I'm just talking to this guy in the audience, and he tells me that he's a musical instructor at a school. So I was like, all right, you're a musical instructor. Can you sing? Let me hear you sing a song. So this is what happened at the last episode of Michael Jr.'s Break Time. Check it. So you're a musical director?
Yes, sir.
All right, so let me get a couple bars of like Amazing Grace. Can you do the first part of that? Go ahead.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me.
Wow. That bro could sing. You know what I'm saying? All right. Now, what you give me the version is if your uncle just got out of jail, you got shot in the back when you was a kid. I'm just saying, let me see the hood version real quick. If you know what version I'm talking about, just see if that exists. Let me see what you got.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me.
Okay. Here's what I want you to catch. The first time I asked him to sing, he knew what he was doing. The second time, he knew why he was doing it. When you know your why, your what becomes more impactful because you're walking towards or in your purpose.
What are your thoughts from seeing that?
I can't sing like that, Bruce.
Say that again?
I can't sing like that.
So, don't worry, Richard, that's not your what. What are your thoughts?
Changes your perspective.
Susan says it changes your perspective. What do you mean it changes your perspective? Tell me more.
Some people just get caught up in the doings of the day, and you have to stop and ask, why am I doing this?
She says you get caught in the doings of the day. You have to stop and ask why you're doing this.
Becomes more meaningful.
Yeah.
Makes it more meaningful.
It also projects out.
Projects outward, right?
Gives you a passion.
Gives you passion, shows your passion, right?
Gives you a reason to wake up in the morning.
Reason to wake up in the morning, absolutely. This is just obviously a simplistic example, but you all know what to do, right? You've all been hired because of your skills and your abilities, and you know what the job is. What makes that difference is when you're doing your job with your why. And for me, my why is wanting to provide the best, absolute best in care and services to the people we serve. I look at, at our residents as my own grandparents. I want these people to be able to live their lives out to their fullest all the way to the end. And I have friends that really don't understand why I do what I do. Some of you obviously know I was the director of health services when I started here, a nursing home administrator. They would always say to me, "People are dying all the time. Why do you want to do that?" And I never looked at it as people were dying. I looked at it as we were helping people live as independently and as well as possible all the way to the end. So we were giving them their best life. And so that was my why. So what's your why? Why are you here? Why do you want to work at Vickers Landing?
Pretty much same reason.
Same reason? You guess or you don't?
Yeah, I mean, it is usually same reason. See, dedication in my life to make sure that, like you said, these people can live the food. And that's satisfaction. You can see your taxes at the end of the day. And,
Hey, Henry, wait a second.
just to find out.
People in the back want to hear you.
How you gotta say it?
But I guess there's that satisfaction, that when you go home and you have people smiling, what you do for them, it's not just a job, I guess. And if you're doing this, you're saying why, then you really can sing, it goes both ways, I'm satisfied, and I did my job, and they satisfied. I don't know if that makes sense, but.
Yeah, absolutely. Who else? What's your why? Why is it Vickers Landing? You could be working other places. We know that. Why here? Why do you do what you do?
If we only have one life to live, why not be in a place where you can help provide the best life? Wow.
Excellent. That was deep. You only have one life to live, so why not be somewhere where you're helping other people live theirs? Yeah.
Say something really quick. I was in the health center yesterday and I was talking to somebody who I've known for a while, CNA, and I didn't know this is what you were talking about today. We were just having this long conversation in my office. I said, "Why do you do what you do?" And she told me the story about when she was a young girl, her mother worked in a nursing home, and she remembers going in when she was 6 years old with her mother and just brushing this lady's hair. And it was that memory that she has about how much that meant to that one person. It has really driven her to be a caregiver her entire life. So it's pretty remarkable. And I know I've said this before. For me, I get a lot of joy from the people I get to work with, but I also think what we do is an honorable thing to do. Not getting spiritual or anything like that, but just caring for those and respecting your elders. That gives me a lot of satisfaction. Just had the conversation yesterday. It was fascinating.
Anyone else?
I know for me, it's giving people here the opportunity to maintain their independence. Vickers has created such a wonderful community for the aging population to live free and independently, but as we age, it gets more difficult. So creating that capability to maintain that independence is why I do it.
I love that, because it is so easy for us to become ableists. We say, "Oh, let us do that for you because you probably can't." But we want to say, "You are independent. You do what you can, and let us just support you." We're here to support them live their best lives. I love that. Thank you, Amy. Yes.
Hello. Name is Hipólito Andrade. I just started today.
Excellent.
And
I think, as I was watching the video, the first song was, you look at everybody and they were all curious and not happy. When the second song came out, he put his confidence in himself that he could do it. Look at everybody. Everybody was smiling. And I was talking to a resident earlier with my co-worker here, Jerry, and we met a lady who was talking to him, and he had a smile on her that wanted to see Jared, and she was so happy to see him because she knows that Gerald's going to do everything for her to be happy at least one day. One day at a time, ladies and gentlemen. Just give them a smile. I just wanted to give them a smile and let the resident be happy just for one day. At least give them a smile one time. That's all I want.
Thanks for the advice.
And that's it.
And what a great observation from the video as well. You're absolutely right. When he was singing the first time, everyone was looking with interest and probably thinking, gosh, this guy's a good singer. But they did all change when he sang with his why. They were smiling, they were clapping, they were going up to hug him. Yeah. Great observation. Thank you.
Nice job, Joe.
So another one of my whys is you all. I've always talked about when I've had direct staff. I've always said that my job is to take care of the staff, so the staff can take care of the residents. And so that's why you'll see me walking around and talking to folks, because you are part of my why. Because we're giving you a nice environment to work in. We're giving you we honestly are giving you competitive pay, and we're always looking at benefits. How can we improve things? We want to hear your suggestions, your concerns, your questions, because we want you to be happy here, because we want you to be giving your why to the residents. Right? So, all right, thank you for your comments there. Some really good thoughts. I appreciate that. Then the last thing I wanted to go over, which relates to this, is just our values. I always want people to remember what our values are, and that's why we incorporate them in our evaluations. It's why we have our recognition program around CARES, because this is what we stand for. It's courtesy, attitude, respect, excellence, and satisfaction. This is part of working in the Vickers way, the Vickers Landing way. Being courteous to everyone, not just our residents, but courteous to each other, smiling, the smile you put on their face, and just please and thank you, and greeting people as you walk by, having a positive attitude. I've said it many times that I recognize that there are hard times in life, and there are challenges that happen outside of work. But I challenge you, when you cross the Vickers Landing boundary, you say, all right, I'm going to leave that behind for right now. For this 8 hours, I'm going to be here at Vickers Landing, and I'm going to give my why. Respect. Remember that respect is not just for our residents. Respect is for each other as well. Every one of you brings a skill, a talent, a different viewpoint, and that's what makes it such a rich working environment, to have people who are different and not the same. So respect for everyone. Excellence in all you do, and then seeking to make sure that our residents leave every interaction satisfied. And we want them to have that smile on their face. Any thoughts or questions? And I will open it up to general questions. Anything we have, you don't have to stick with what we've talked about, but any questions for me, for anyone else on the team? Just so you know, I am someone who's comfortable with silence. So I can sit here.
I missed part of the master plan.
You missed part of the master plan.
I was running.
Okay.
Parking.
Parking. I did not put up a slide on parking, but thank you for bringing that up. We are addressing some of the parking challenge in the master plan. And the idea is down where the barn is now, so past the Stratford, where the barn, where we have maintenance storage, and the laundry, and that sort of thing. That building will go away, and we will build a new building for laundry and storage, and we will build a parking garage. It will be 3-level. And so staff can park back in that parking garage, go right to the Stratford to check in with their office, clock in, do what they need to do, store their items, and then go on to their workplaces. So that's the current plan, but that is an important component, so thank you for bringing that up.
Good.
Storage in general.
Storage in general.
Supplies and furniture and dining and where we're very tight now.
Well, Sandra, I've noticed that we just use your area for storage, right? Well, there will be storage in the building that's going to be built with the parking garage. And if we do end up using the Stratford for an HR building, there will be enough space in there for extra storage. We know that we always need more storage. Other questions? Where are we on alternate access? Ask Dale. If you don't know. So, for those of you who aren't in on the joke there, Dale has been working on getting access to the Oak Ridge campus other than A1A for about 5 years. And he finally secured that, but we're now waiting for St. Johns County to finish the permitting process so we can build the access. So the plan will be going to Oak Ridge. It's really going to be for residents and for our shuttle. But there will be another access that will be down the road. If you turned like you were going to Publix, so you turned at the Hilton, like you're going that loop road, and right at the Wells Fargo, there's a stop sign, and you can turn left. There's some office buildings back in there. If you go to the very end, there's a dental office, and the dentist has space to allow us access onto the Oak Ridge campus, and we'll drop off right at the Oak Ridge Clubhouse. So that is the plan. Hopefully that will be constructed and opened by the end of this year. And again, it'll be for resident use and for our shuttle, just to keep people off A1A and make it a little easier for them.
Good.
Other questions? Joey?
Speaking of access, on A1A, is there a possibility that we have a left turn coming from Publix instead of going and make a U-turn?
Unfortunately, no. We looked at that early on with the Department of Transportation, and because we definitely can't get a light, because there's a light at Dawson Oaks and then a light at Publix, and that's too close a distance. And because of the lane break, if you're heading south, you turn left into those condos there. Because of that, there's not enough space for us to have a turn in to Oak Ridge. So the Department of Transportation won't allow that. So we'll continue to have to do the U-turn at Thousand Oaks. Or you can hop on the shuttle and go through the alternate access. Other questions?
Is that access will be for golf carts too? Or just for the shuttle and the residents?
Dale is nodding yes.
And golf cart?
Yeah.
Awesome.
No vehicles.
Yeah. Ultimately, we also hope to have a walking access where the Mountain Star building is. That's one of the office buildings. There is a gate that we put into our fence, and with the anticipation of creating a path and a sidewalk. So if someone were on the Oak Ridge campus and wanted to walk over to Sawgrass Village, you could use that. But that's not been permitted yet. What else? Well, I want to remind you all that we have an open door policy. Any of the management team is happy to talk to you at any time. I can tell you if I'm not around, Arden is right across from me, and she's happy to put time on my calendar. Always happy to meet with you, to hear your concerns. I do rounds, walk around the campus quite a bit, so as you see me, feel free to stop me and have a conversation. But I want to thank you for giving your why here at Vickers Landing and to our members here. It really shows. And I've worked in a number of different places. You can tell the difference of business where people are working because it's a job rather than because it's a mission. And here you can feel the why with all of our team. And that's all of you working together, working with that common purpose to take care of our residents. So I want to thank you for that. Thank you for being part of the Vickers family. And I think as you exit, Julie is going to try to catch a couple of you, right? To do a little testimonial about your why. So if anyone is open to that, Julie would be happy to take that time. And if you have a question that you just didn't want to ask in front of everyone, I'll hang around for a little bit, so come on up. So thank you all. Have a great day.